Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together this Bear in Balloon box card, which is an SVG from Simply Crafty SVGs. And you can see it here in a rainbow version just with one panel. So there are some options to simplify the card. So here are the pieces. This card has more detail, more piecing to it, but there was an effect I wanted to get. I wanted it to look like a hot air balloon, so if you need it to look like a hot air balloon, I could have made it larger. I didn't make it 5x7, I made it an A2 size card so it folds, but I have to have contrast in size, so the bear had to be a little bit smaller, which I made it a little bigger to make it easier. So here's a version of the card. So the heart will be layered like that. I'll show you that. But you can make a single heart with the pattern paper. In this case, I actually blended some ink to make a rainbow heart with Distress Oxide, which was fun. So you could make this card for any time. I mean, obviously I have hearts everywhere, but you wouldn't have to put the banner on. And you could do the bear and make this like a birthday card. So that's always my goal, is to make something that is not just specific to one. You could be thinking about you card or something like that. So and tone down the bear a little bit. So anyways, let's just get to it. So the thing that I'll show you first is piecing the bear together, the body of it at least, and then this piece, and then these little balloons on these little bags on the side. So, and then of course the heart, but the heart's pretty simple, as you can see. So this is the heart, and then we have the card and a little this is like a support, so because it's thin here, so we need a little bit more support there. So there's the struggle of making a larger card is that would have probably bowed a little bit more, so the smaller the better for something with so little support. So let's do the big pieces first. So I did emboss this one with it's a Darice, let's show you, Darice scroll background. So I did use this embossing folder with my Cuttlebug machine to emboss that fun pattern. Just take that red to the side so I don't get glue on it. So we're just going to line up where the top inverted part of the heart is, and then line it up at the bottom, the point. And then we'll go ahead and place this on here. And I am using mostly, with the exception probably of the printed paper, that's a printed Nina cardstock, but I'm mostly using American Crafts textured cardstock. Just trying to wiggle it into place. That one's just a little bit off. That's okay. And then I have all the little pieces in here so I don't lose them. So let's get the bear out. We have those big panels. So I'll explain them as I pull them out. So let me just dump them out. Let me get everything situated, and then we will we'll have them all ready to go. So I laid all these out, and a couple things I already did. So I already layered one of these together, so I have this one. I put these together, so I'm going to put that one together, and we haven't done the bear, and these. So this is the bear nose. There's some extra hearts. I just kept them if I could add it to the card. It's the cutout of these and for that. So if you want to add some additional hearts, if you're heart happy and have places you want to add it on the back or something like that, that's always an option. I mean, it's always fun to keep these things. So I'm going to go ahead, I was going to do the bear, but let's just go ahead and, so you want to do 3 of these. And then these will just glue right here. Just follow the shape on the bottom to line them up. So let me go ahead and do that. And this is optional. This can be used. Originally, I actually omitted it from the design, and then made a decision based on some feedback from somebody, a friend, to add it as an element. I mean, because it can be used on a different card or something like that. So I put it in the front of the card, but you don't need to. If you decide to make this a birthday card or just thinking about your card, maybe you might just put something else, put a sentiment on the front. So that's that, and then we're going to go ahead and layer this first. So make sure I'm on the correct side, which is the textured side. And I'm going to be really careful about putting glue around the ears, really light. If you want to do it with your fingertip, you can. Just make sure you get the glue off your fingertips before you start gluing anything else. So I'm just going to lightly place it down, pick it up. You can notice I have the ears still up a little bit so I can get it in place before I press it down, and I can see from the back I lined it up fairly well. And I'm going to take this piece, and it's thinner at the bottom, so let me put this black on here so you can see it. But if you can see it, the shape of the head is slightly small on the bottom, so you need to place this top piece on it that way. So just make sure it's kind of situated before. If you don't put too much glue near the eye openings, you can rotate it a little bit if you needed to. So it looks like I got it in place. So you can see like that. And then we just need to, I'm going to use I have a little glue on my fingertips here. This pick-me-up stick, silhouette pick-me-up stick, to just help me pick this little piece up. I'm going to put, I should have put a dot of glue first. So I'm going to put a dot of glue right here, right at the top of this line. And I did kind of lightly chalk ink that. So I just place it there. Here, let me use this. This is what the other end's for. So I'm just getting it in place. And then this piece to layer that together to make the little sandbags for the sides of the basket. So we can go ahead and use this too to pick this up. I'm just going to add glue to the bottom of this. It doesn't hold it well enough to add too much, but so I'm just putting it over here so I don't drop it, and then I'm going to put it into place. So that looks good. So on this bear, I used a pen and it was a little bit dark. So I used a little, one of these. This is a little, I have a little bit of black on it already. So it was still a little ink on it. So I kind of pulled open the cut, because it's just a cut edge, and kind of lightly did it. But you could do it with like a gray pen or or a pencil, or not at all, really. So you can see I put a little glitter glue on the nose there, so that was cute. So, and it folds flat, just so you know. That is, I said it was an A2 size. So we're going to finish off the bear. On the last one I popped up the head with some foam tape, but I'm just going to put it flat here. So the more you pop up or put dimensional things, it's harder to place it in an envelope. But I think a lot of people, unless you send them, will give the Valentine's Day sometime personally. And excuse me, you can see how this is layered. I just center this. Get that bear over there. And the bear little feet, the little feet that are coming over the edge, will be done on this. So we're gonna do that in just a minute. I didn't bring them out because I didn't want to lose them or anything. Oops, too heavy. I'm just gonna put it on there. Use that to do that. Let me see if I got it in the right place. So we'll just put the bear like that, but and we can do that right now because this is a panel. So we're going to put this on, actually on top of the card once we get the card folded. So these two, so all this, let's get the little paws, or we won't put those on yet, and we'll wait to put that on. Well, no, we could put it on. We'll wait to put it on last because it'll be easier than gluing the whole thing. So we'll go ahead and slide this under. So I'm just going to go about right there. And I'm going to center it. And the reason is we need to make sure that it's centered in front of that balloon. So right in front of this. And then we'll go ahead and put a little glue here, a little glue there. Go ahead and use the pick-me-up tool. I'm just making sure we're on the textured side. Place that little paw there and that little paw there. I should say big paws. We'll go ahead, and I had to close the glue so it doesn't dry. Then we'll have that set to put on after we have the actual card together. So let's get the card pieces. So right now I have all these little pieces in here. I'm going to pull out the panels. So one of these has tabs, one of it doesn't. So this one, the one without tabs, is to put behind here for extra strength. So it'll line up right there to strengthen that. So let's go ahead and do that first. Like I said earlier, this is a pretty heavy piece to be held up by those little skinny things. So I need something to hold it. So I'm going to put glue there. So this just strengthens this piece, but it makes it look a little bit better too. I'm going to put a little glue right here. And then just see if I can get it almost perfectly lined up. So I'm just going to look from the front. So this is the place too on the back. You can add either a tag or you could write on it as your message, because that's the biggest area to write on. So here we go. This is the way that it's folded. So I folded it on the scores, and really the front. So they're not all the same size, just so you know. So the front, this is deeper. This is wider than it is on the front. So they're shorter on the front, if you can see that. So it's the second one in. So the second one in is the front. So I wanted to put an indication, but I didn't want to put a bear or anything there. So these go here. So you'll notice that they won't really, I mean, they'll fit there, but so the first one to the right of the tab is a side, and then skip that one and the next side. And if you're unsure, you can always take one of these and line it up to the bottom there, just to make sure. So that's another way to look at it. And I'm just going to put these kind of like cattywampus, kind of at an angle. Glue those on first. And you could do this later if you wanted to. They're not much thickness, so they're not going to affect the way that it folds. Just moving it up a little bit. You want to get fancy, you could put little twine and stuff. I mean, you could get fancy. So we can't put this on yet until we have it together. So this is the insert. So it folds like this. So the way you want to do it, you got to remember, make sure you're on the side. So we're going to go ahead and, this is upside down. So it's going to be like that. So you can start with any side, but they're all kind of, I mean, similar. Actually, let's put the heart on. Doesn't really matter, but usually I like to put the insert stuff on first. I was just trying to think as I was, when you see my hesitation, I was just trying to think of what the, sometimes putting the tab in one place versus another is easier. You can do it either way once you know how it works, but sometimes it's just, I always try to overthink it. Okay, so it's upside down, and I'm making sure this is the top. Then we're going to go ahead, and that's the side, so you want to glue it to the side. So we're going to go ahead and glue it. I'm going to try to line it up to the bottom. So you're going to add glue, fold the tabs back and add glue to the textured side if you're using textured, so the front side of the tab. And we're going to go ahead, and if you can see this fold right here, we're just going to place it flat. Down a little bit, sorry, I didn't mean to go that tall. You can go towards the bottom, and I'm just going a little bit to the right of the fold there, and then I'm just making sure this is lined up on the bottom. It helps support it too because it's such a small card when it stands up. So I'm going to go upside down. so you can see it, but so we're gonna, you see how what's gonna happen right there. So now all we have to do is fold it over. I'll kind of angle it down there, making sure it's lined up at the bottom. Just going to pull this back, add glue to it, and glue it flat. So really we're folding over the side piece, and then we're just going to glue it flat right there. And I'm just lining up that bottom edge, which is top on this, but it's just so for the view of gluing it. Then we're just going to fold that over and glue that on top. So I actually started on the correct side. This is what I wanted to happen, but not every box card, I just don't think it through. I don't know. One of these days I'll get it. I don't know how many years into designing I'll get it, but I will get it. Maybe. So if you do like our projects, I always ask if you could give me a little like below or a thumbs up. And or subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that little notification bell to the right to let you know that we have new projects videos if you're not on our mailing list, but you can always go on our mailing list too. There's a link on our webpage. So now that it's flat, we can go ahead, let's take the one with the bear. Gotta find the bear. Let's take all the other pieces out here. So on the home stretch. So the bear goes on the front, so you're going to line up this bottom part right here. So make sure this lines up to the edge down there. That tells you how to place it. So I'm just going to line it up. When it's flat, it's good because you can, I put too much glue on it. Okay, tip, put the glue on the thing. I did that so many times today while doing other videos. Okay, that was my blooper for this video. Okay, so make sure you put the glue on this part and then place it. I know that, but that's the reason why you can't put it on, because it's wider than the panel on the front. And then I'm going to put the back one on really quick before I put this. So let's do this correctly. Just lining it up. And since it's textured, and if you're wondering, I have a basket one, but this one looked like a basket to me, so I use this called Lifestyle Crafts, I believe. It's called a chain. It looks more, I just like the pattern on it, so if you like to emboss things. And then we'll go ahead and put this on the front. So that's the last thing. So I didn't get the banner completely lined up perfectly, but hey, that's crafts. Don't go to the edge. Okay, so I glued too much, so you just want to glue like really on here and like half of there. And that's it. Again, this doesn't have to be a Valentine's Day card. As in my book, you can do it with a different character. You can add any other character in the front. You could have silhouettes of heads. You could have a solid panel back here, make it a birthday type of card. So just other ideas that you could use for this card. So I hope you enjoyed that project, and I thank you so much for watching.